I want to say a special welcome to our visitors and the parents who are here this morning. I also want to introduce our three special judges this morning. They will have a very, very difficult job this morning because we have 24 contestants representing the primary, the junior, and the intermediate parts of our school. So the three judges this morning are Mrs. Ruth Tate. Want to stand up? You want to stand up? And she is the educational coordinator of our senior school. Of our senior school. And William Wojtowicz.
Thank you.
Our audiologist. And Kim Hill, the president of our student council here at Sir James Whitney. And a very, very special person again this year, Mr. Craig Barnes, who will do our voice interpreting this morning and also be our MC. So I will let Mr. Barnes have the stage now.
Thanks, Mr. Robbins. As MC, my job will be to introduce all of the speakers this morning. That's all. I won't say anything in between. I won't say what their topic will be. That's their job, right? Because we have so many speakers this morning, I think we should start right now. Do you agree? Yeah. All right. Our first speaker will be Carrie English. Carrie.
Good morning, judges, students, teachers, and parents. I am here to tell you about clowns. A clown is a type of performer and comedian or buffoon in a circus. The very first clown was court jesters. They were from the Middle Asia. A clown's job is to make the audience laugh. They go pom-pom. They dress in funny costumes and make up and act in a silly manner. All clowns have their own special costumes. They can't talk to each other. Clowns go everywhere. They mostly go to Halloween parties and birthday parties. Long ago, P.T. Barnum, the greatest American promoter, studied in clown school. P.T. said, circus depends on clowns. In other words, clowns are the most important part of the circus. Sometimes clowns do mime and magic. In the 1800s, Joseph Gilmore, a famous British comic actor, studied clown school. He showed the people how to be a good clown. One of the clowns was Emmett Kelly. He became famous in a sad-faced hobo who wandered crawling around the circus ring in a tattered suit and a hat. People got nervous watching in the church. Then the clowns would show up and start acting to make them laugh. Then the clown. I'm going to tell you a secret about clowns. Some clowns wear floppy shoes. If they want to lean over, they won't fall because the shoe have a hook that goes into the floor. I think clowns are really great. They can teach us all good lessons. If we are having trouble in our life, we should always try to be like a clown and put on a happy face. Thank you. Talk, talk.
Thank you, Carrie. I suspect, by the way, I saw Carrie looking out there, that we're going to have some help this morning from my teachers. Is that true? No. Of course not. Our next speaker this morning is Jay Kirkwood. Jay.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, children, students, our children, honey, offer food in our elder people, in very dying to fly in our elder in the earth. Do you know about that one father who made the first airplane after double, nothing else to rubber over the first ever made the run up the not to the fun machine right over what time here or he got it all the machine for picking it on newspaper. He put it on newspaper, but he up there and had the but he never created from had the paper. He knew that one funny day that they never daughter and was done had they're not on your outside. They don't have baby and they dying to the science and apple. The first apple will be it did not have any the apple right under the air and top. The apple did not have any apple. They not apple have apple, but it tried to put up the apple made a heavy apple and the apple the one the apple they not figured out the time. They did not trying to talk to get them more money and figure out what with the one trying to figure out what they went to the multi topic to the another model bottom multi-topic to make a multi-button because they didn't die at a multi have a so bad the rubber and over design of the make the all marketed the way to have not power to make a new pair of habit or habit and it is the behavior but not to it stop one fire one large running of the double nothing to it is for not it double but nothing for if the appropriate not if you put it on my is the minute about the type of food take what try down one funny without very funny rubber and over I could apply by the make it proper for new me to buy but maybe the number created from how the but they share the word the two.
Waiting until the judges have a few seconds to write down their comments on the paper. Our next speaker will be Veronica Bickle, and Veronica has decided not to use her own voice. Instead, she will be using a voice interpreter. That will be me. So you will hear this deep man's voice from this little girl. The judges are very serious in their work. Okay, Veronica?
Good morning, teachers, parents, and friends. I'm going to tell you about the Bickle's childhood mischief. My sister, my brother, and I always pull off pranks. I was born on November 11th, 1979. I love to cry, maybe for no reason. My sister Beverly was born on March 13th, 1982. She was the best baby because she was always slept. My brother George was born on November 4th, 1982. He wasn't a baby for very long. He grew up too fast. I loved to push Beverly when she was in the walker. One day I pushed Beverly down 3 steps. Crash, crash, crash. Down went the walker, the gate, and Beverly. Beverly screamed and screamed and screamed. Later I did it all over again. The next time I touched her, when she was in the walker, she screamed. Another day, Beverly was outside, and she saw a beetle. She picked it up and put it in her mouth. Mom saw Beverly eat something. Then she opened Beverly's mouth. Ah! A beetle! Mom took it out and threw it away. George loved to hit people, so Beverly and I would run away to hide. Then Beverly or I would go to Mom crying. Mom knew George did it. So Mom would ask George. Then he would turn red because he was ashamed. One day my dad left the dirty oil from the car in the garage, and then he went to work. Then Mom put Beverly and I outside with our snowsuits, our hats, mittens, and boots. We saw the oil, then we started to play in it. Soon the oil was all over us. Luckily, no oil got into Beverly or my mouth. When Mom saw us, she threw Beverly and me in the bathtub. And she had to put our snowsuits, our boots, our hats, and mittens in the garbage. George loves water, no matter how cold or hot. For example, Mom likes to take our family to the beach. When we arrive, George sees the water, and runs through it as fast as he can. So Mom will have to chase after him and bring him back. If you want to be a mother or father, then there are 2 things you should remember. Watch out and be careful. Your children can be very mischievous. Make sure you keep your children out of danger or deep trouble. And also be sure to keep an eye on them. I was really surprised when the Mom told us all the mischief that we had caused. This is only some of the mischief we have caused. If you want to know more about biblical childhood mischief, then ask my mom. Thank you. Mrs. Riley will be presenting the awards tomorrow morning, I guess, when the judges have finished with their decision making. Our next speaker is James Bailey. James.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a teacher. My topic is judo. I was judo practice in January 1989. Many months later, after not practice, I had to write a tap and then a harder throw. And I also had to learn them sharply with, and I got my yellow belt. Judo means the gentle way. judo is different than other martial arts. In the beginning, everyone wears a light belt. Next level is yellow, then orange, then green, then blue, then white, then last is black. There are several beautiful judo. No long, no is rugby, dancing, and no be rough, no show off. Judo classes start at 7 o'clock p.m. 7 o'clock p.m. at Sir James Whitney School near the pool. Every Monday and Wednesday, I wear a judo jeans. Judo jeans means a uniform. I also have to take off our shoes and when that much drunk summer, we have to thaw before we get on the mat. We line up after our practice and then some fun and then some and get a pattern and practice some hard road. My father is working in judo, but he's going back. Someone tries to take my father, I can't protect him. Sometimes I practice with my father, but he is too heavy. I take back to follow my mother. And I can feel judo in the future. Become maybe someday I'll come here and do. Thank you for watching me today.
I feel sorry for the poor judges. Do you agree? Already the speeches are wonderful. We have so many people still left to present to us this morning. I noticed Mr. Whitney started with 100, then he scratched it out to 95. Really difficult. Okay. Our next speaker this morning is Sarah Colbeck. Sarah. She also will use a voice interpreter.
Good morning, judges, parents, and teachers, and of course, students and friends. My speech this morning will be about my feelings in the deaf world and the hearing world. My parents were very happy to have me born deaf because they both are deaf and always hope to have deaf children. Some deaf parents are not lucky because they get hearing children. But the deaf parents still try hard to teach their hearing children some of the sign language. My family are the only ones that are deaf. All of my relatives are hearing, or all of them know a little bit of sign language. My family continues to teach my relatives more sign language. Deaf people have to choose English or ASL, sign language. My family chose ASL because it is our natural language. But for writing, we must use English. ASL means American Sign Language. It is a very visual sign language. ASL uses eyes, nose, mouth, hands, and body movements. Deaf people hear very little sound or voice. We can't really read the people's lips because hearing people talk so quickly and sometimes their lips are small. I notice that deaf people think their eyes are the most important to them. But hearing people don't agree with that. They think their ears are the most important. Some deaf people think that deaf people should teach hearing people sign language. For example, my dad teaches sign language to hearing people, every Wednesday to help hearing people to communicate with deaf people. Do you want to hear about my two schools? When I was 3 years old, I went to the Ottawa school named Centennial. There were not very many deaf children there. I had a few deaf friends, but no hearing friends. I stayed there until I was 9 years old. Then I moved to Belleville. At first I was shy with everyone. Then I got used to them. Now I have lots of deaf friends here. When I go home, sometimes I have hearing friends, even if they don't know sign language. I keep teaching them sign language. In about 1 month, they know most of the signs, but they spell the words. So the new neighbor moves in, I always take a pad of paper and a pen and go to the neighbor's house and ask, what is your name? I ask them if they want to be friends with me. If they say yes, I start teaching them sign language every weekend when I come home from Belleville. Now I want to talk about hearing aids. I hate hearing aids because we must change molds if they are small, change batteries if they're dead. And if these things happen, we must pay for them. In my future, when I grow up, I think I will go with hearing people sometimes, because I think that deaf people and hearing people should cooperate together. Thank you. Andrew Swain. Andrew.
Boy.
I have a good path and I want you to get respected. I feel different it means it feels easy that much and it colors pale and sweet and jokes for it is funny even from how you get rid of long hair. This is a thing in my country. You get with your country if you have to. I have to take care of the people and the things that they take try to continue to do for that. What is real here? Came 2 times and that takes your take the time to go and pass watch for big house of time to go when he's got the past very bad time and put them back into the place. I think trouble of
some of the students this morning, the speaking contest is a real challenge. Why? Because many of them have to not only plan their speeches and the words involved, but also they must practice their sign, they must practice their speech. There are many things involved in this, and it's not easy for them to come here and stand in front of their friends and speak to you. Think about all the things they must remember as well. So I'm really happy to see you applauding for each of them when they're finished. Our next speaker this morning is Natalie Pilon. Can you hear Natalie now? No, not now, but later.
Good morning, judges, teachers, students, and guests. The title of my speech this morning is Past Our Grade. Do you know what I do? I have several pets. No, my favorite thing in the world is pets. Do you know what? Do you have any pets? I have plenty of pets too. There's many different kinds of pets. First, I will tell you about dogs. Second, I will tell you about cats. Third, at the end of my speech, I will tell you about my own pets. There are many different kinds of dogs, but that's not all. I like a tiny Mexican dog named Chihuahua. I saw one recently and said, it was very cute. It has pointy ears and a long tail about 20 centimeters long. All dogs need the people's loving care for them. Did you know that Sir James Whitney used to have a deaf dog named Alice? The famous author named Bonnie Mowat gave her to the school because she was deaf. I'm very sorry to tell you that she was hit and killed in a car accident near the lawn in New Orleans. Also, dogs can be very useful to people. Veronica Bickle, a student here at Sir James Whitney, has a hearing ear dog. If the phone rings, Veronica's dog gets her mom so she can answer the phone. Veronica's dog is helpful to her family in many ways because Veronica and her mom are deaf. It is important to care and feed your dog properly. You should not give it junk food. I found out that chocolate can be poison to dogs because it can kill a dog. Now I will tell you about cats. I think that cats are friendly and curious animals. Cats love to play in trees, but they also like to play with people. If a white cat has one green eye and one blue eye, a cat can be deaf in one ear. I thought that information was interesting. Now I will tell you about my own pet. My family has several pets. Now I have 2 dogs, 2 gerbils, 2 fish, and 1 bird. Before I used to have 5 birds, 4 dogs, many fish, and 1 lizard. I think that I'm lucky just to have a lot of pets. Maybe in the future
I will buy a lot of cats, hamsters, gerbils, and dogs. Maybe if I move to a farm, I will buy a barn full of animals. I think that it is wonderful to share my life with a lot of animals. Do you? Thank you.
You know that chocolate can injure or kill a dog. Did you know that? You didn't know that? Oh, thank you. So there's the two of us anyway. Yeah. So far we have heard about judo and clowns and deafness and mischief and many other different things. Our next speaker this morning is Mike Sear. Mike, here's it.
Good morning, teachers, judges, and students. Did you know that most of us are drug users? There are thousands of drugs in the stores. People use drugs all the time. Most drugs are good, but some drugs are bad. Some people use drugs to make them feel good or to stay healthy. Have you ever taken a Tylenol? For pain, or some medicine for stomach ache? Drugs are very important to us. Doctors use prescription drugs for their patients. Some drugs can cure some diseases, such as heart problems, liver diseases, and sore throats. Some people do not use drugs wisely. They abuse drugs. Sometimes they hurt their liver, their heart, kidneys, and brain.
May I have your attention, please?
Drug dependence is an awful thing. Some drug users need to take bad drugs every day. Their bodies must have the bad drug all the time.
Lights are on. Thank you.
Some people have a psychological dependence on drugs. This means that they can't control their desire to take drugs. Taking illegal drugs is very expensive. Drug addicts learn to steal, murder, and rob to get money to buy drugs. Some drug addicts can't be cured. Do you know the most dangerous drug in the world is the first drug you take? Don't take drugs. Thank you.
This morning is Bill Martin. Bill.
My future fantasy. Do you have fantasy? There's something you dream about? Yeah, I have a fantasy. I want to be a goalie in the NFL. And I go out and I run track and I got a golden card, Stanford Classic and John Blossom and Chef Whitney and a blue helmet because I showed that colors, that's the color of the Buffalo Stable. I love that too. Back home I began to fantasize about winning a lottery and going to the undergrad to play hockey. And then the thought of all the undergrad that I can be I will be in Buffalo State. I did, yeah! I asked, can I be the goalie? And I was in the net for Buffalo State against Ontario Canadian, and we won. Scored like 8-0. And we played in the Jackson News. And the game was finished, and then afternoon after the game, they told me that I would be going a game. In the next game, Buffalo favored against Montreal Stadium for the playoff, and we won for 4-1. On double something, I would play with New Jersey Ducks for the championship. We would tie 1-1, and it was very it's still tied, and we have 7 more seconds left. I split up the puck and jumped up and went down and just split back. We missed it. And Mom! I was back going in the end of there were 2 goals scored on me during all the games. And it's not bad. I won the NHL trophy for the best goalie. You know, I feel wonderful. It was a combination of feeling excited, proud, and all at the same time. I hope to continue to play hockey until I'm 45 years old. My friends asked me to play with me, I will play with them. My favorite team is Buffalo Sabres for all the rest of my life. I will try to play like their school house. My fantasy make you feel good inside, but you don't have a fantasy, you just sit down and think about it. It's fun and fantasy.
Fantasy comes true, and then he becomes a rich hockey player, and then he shares with us. Good idea? Our next speaker this morning is Rhonda Smith.
Good morning, judges, teachers, parents, and friends. I'd like to explain about my heart problem. My heart problem is called gerbil Nielsen syndrome. It's very rare. Not many people have it. Our mom and dad carry the gene that causes this heart disease. Everyone's body is made up of millions of cells. Each cell contains genes. Children get them from their parents. We got the bad genes from our mom and dad. Both of our parents had to be carriers. If only one was a carrier, we would not have it. Mom was very scared when I was born. She thought something awful was going to happen. And worst of all, she thought I was going to die. Sometimes our hearts don't beat properly, so there's not enough blood pumped to our brain. If this happens, we could faint. Our lips could turn blue. Our chest will hurt. And we could die if someone is not there. That's why we must have medicine. We take medicine 3 times a day, every 8 hours. We will have a heart problem for our whole life. No one in our mom and dad's family has a heart problem like ours. Jason and I are the first ones in our families that have a heart problem. There is no cure for our heart problem. When I was born, I had a heart murmur. The valves in my heart, which open and close to let the blood go through my heart, didn't work properly. Now that I'm 10 years old, it's all better. Because the murmur usually improves by the time the person is 10 years old. When my parents listened to my heart with a stethoscope, it makes funny noises. It sounds like a whooshing noise. Jason doesn't have the heart murmur. This is something many babies have. It goes away as they grow. Because of the heart murmur, the doctors found my heart problem. Most people with my heart problem die as babies. So I was very lucky I had the murmur. There was another time I was very lucky, when I was in grade 1. I went with my class to practice swimming for open house. I was exercising too hard. I got tired. Then I did some somersaults. Suddenly I went right down to the bottom of the deep water. Mrs. Ingraham dove to get me. She pulled me out of the water. I was breathing, but my eyes weren't open. I had to stay in the hospital for 2 days. I was scared, but I was lucky. It really bothers me when I talk about our heart problem. I usually get nervous. But don't worry, kids. Jason and I are just fine now. Thank you.
Our last speaker in the junior division will be Elizabeth Morris. Elizabeth, please.
Good morning, students. Good morning, friends, teachers, and judges. What is the best thing in the whole world? I discovered what it is during my ninth grade holiday. Let me tell you about it. When I was younger, I used to live in Warren, Ohio. Warren is in United States. A few weeks ago, my family and I traveled to Farford, Ohio, which is near Warren. to visit some of our friends. We stayed at our old neighbor's home. On Wednesday night, my friend's father took all the kids to the mall. There were lots of stores. I thought to walk along cake, Mary, Sandoli, and Paula. I bought dolls. It was great. We went back to my friend's home, and I had to babysit my brother. We watched a movie called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The next day, we drove to Warren, Ohio. It took us 2 hours to get there. We went to my old teacher's home. Her name is Mrs. Slater. Candles were in every window in the front of the house. And Mrs. Slater said that she had put them there to welcome us. That's the way American people welcome their friends. That night, she told me that my old school was closed. There were many dead kids at my old school, but the new school was bigger and had many here kids. The next day, I visited a deaf class. I was really surprised. They knew some different signs in the United States. Their sign for rabbit is rabbit. Their sign for this is this. Their sign for that is that. Their sign for vacation is vacation. After that, we all went to gym for a vacation about dress. We all got handbags that said no to say no. Everyone was dancing. They were doing such tricks. I was so happy to see my old friends again because I haven't seen them for a long time. And I remember them from before. I saw my old teacher, and her name is Mrs. Seal. She was my teacher when I was 4 years old. When I was 5 years old, my class and I, and also my mother, went to Mrs. Seal's farm. We went to the barn, and we saw the sheep and goats. I remember we had a good time. I had another teacher called Mrs. Snyder. Mrs. Slater told me that Mrs. Snyder now had 2 children. I thought she meant she had 2 kids, but really she had 2 puppies. I was so excited to see them. We went to Mrs. Snyder's house, and I saw the puppies. They were so beautiful. They are white, red, Highland Terriers, but everyone calls them Stocky Studs. I saw the picture of him winning the show. While we were in Ohio, my mom told one of her friends. She said, "Do you remember when Elizabeth was a little girl and would not wear the earrings?" My mom had forgotten. Apparently, I was very hungry, so my mom drove me to McDonald's and said, "If you will wear the earrings, you can eat." I wouldn't. So my mom drove me away from McDonald's. But I was still hungry. So my mom drove me to Burger King and said, "If you will wear the earrings, you can eat." I wouldn't. So my mom threw me away for Burger King. After double breakfast, she took me inside another McDonald's and ordered one breakfast. She was embarrassed to see her friends at the next table and had to explain what she was doing. I decided to wear the earring and eat. Can you believe I didn't want to wear the earring when I was a little girl? Someday, my family and I visited some of our friends and near our old house. And we went to my deck church. This was my church. When I was eight years old, I had first communion in this church. I wanted to visit some of my old deaf friends. After that, we had to leave for home. It was sad to say goodbye to my friends. We got home at 3:30 in the morning. I hope some of my friends can come to my house in the summer. My spring holiday was great because I discovered the best thing in the whole world with fun. Thank you.
To eat lunch with us, but she wouldn't. Thank you. I will ask all of you now, please stand. Can we applaud for them once? Thank you all. Now it's time for a break. We have
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's something that we want. I wouldn't bring it in if you don't find it. Because she's been stealing his hat.
hello again. We're ready now to begin with the primary and intermediate district. Is that true? No, thank you very much. No. We're going to begin with the primary, the younger group here, and then the last group will be the intermediate, grade 7. Our first speaker then for the primary group will be Nadia Bukarev. Nadia.
My name is Nadia. My favorite is my name.
Williamstown, Ontario.
And
Joseph and Elizabeth Fentz.
I have the food and my pit. Don't my in and my in easy with all then to do university now. My oldest brother is back and it is best. He lives in America.
He lives in Germany.
He is the one is in transport. It is the bus. He needs the car with machine. Camera to then to African. Sometimes in summer I have my brother with the cow. My dog and I take the cow up on the barn in the morning. Then we went then back in afternoon. My brother came with me sometimes too. We have a lot of cats and a lot of pets. And it is old. I'm born in New and I came to school in German. This school in German. When I'm at home, I like to play outside with my friends, my dog and my friends. Mother and I are that with me that other lab and bunny water her. I have a dog at home. Her name is Princess. She is black and a little bit brown. When I play, I throw a stick at my dog, run back and he will get back. I let him. I like to go home and with that. Thank you very much.
Good speech, man. Our next speaker will be Jason Smith. Jason.
Good morning, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed. Parents, teachers, friends. Judges and guests. My name is Jason Smith. This is my name sign. I would like to tell you about Archie comics. I like my Archie books all the time. My Archie books are funny. like them because they are my favorite comic books. I like my Archie books because they are fun to read. There are lots of characters in the Archie books. I like Jughead because he's cute. And I like Betty because she's beautiful. Jughead loves hamburgers. Sometimes he has big hamburgers. Archie is always in big trouble with Mr. Weatherby because he's always late for school. Reggie always fights with Archie because he likes Veronica. Sorry, her name is Veronica, and this is her name sign. Archie likes to go to the drive-in with his girlfriend. The kids go to Riverdale High School. Big Ethel loves Jughead. But Jughead hates Big Ethel. Jughead loves food better than girls. Veronica is the rich girl in all the stories. Hot Dog is Jughead's dog. Hot Dad loves to play with Jughead. Jughead is funny because he always eats lots of food. Moose is strong because he has big muscles. Jughead and Archie go to the pop shop. Now you know all about the characters in the Archie books and the funny things that they do. I hope that you enjoyed my story. Thank you very much.
Difficult decision. Do you agree? But it's an easy decision. Who should they vote for? Yeah. Our next speaker then will be Ralph Colbeck.
Good morning, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed. Oh, Mr. Robbins again. Good morning, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed, parents, students, friends, teachers, students, and guests. My name is Ralph Colbeck. This is my name sign. My topic today is hockey. Canada's favorite sport is hockey because of our long winters. Hockey is the most popular sport in Canada. There are 6 players per team on the ice. And one team plays against another team. They play with a puck, and the puck must go into the net to get a point. I like Montreal because one of my favorite goalies in Montreal is Patrick Watt, number 33. Many years ago, my favorite goalie in Montreal was Ken Dryden. My favorite player in Montreal is Mats Naslund, number 26. He's from Sweden. Montreal has won the Stanley Cup many times, around 23 times. I hope Montreal wins this year. The season is from October to May. The most exciting games are the playoffs, starting in April. Sixteen teams have to play against each other and try to get to the final game for the Stanley Cup. It is a very hard game. The final game is for only two teams to decide who will win the game. The team will get the Stanley Cup, and they will be very happy and take the trophy home where they live. They will keep it for 1 year and return it to the NHL for competition every year. What team do you want to win the Stanley Cup this year? Montreal. Thank you very much.
Is Rob Service. Rob.
Good morning, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed. Ladies, gentlemen, judges, girls, boys, and parents. Welcome to our speeches. I hope you enjoy my story. Do you have a favorite hockey team? My favorite team is Montreal. I like the position, my favorite position is goalie. One of the best goalies from 1970 to 1973 and 74 to 1979 was Ken Dryden. He was born in 1947 in Hamilton, Ontario. He's 43 years old. He's a big man, 6 feet, 4 inches. And 205 pounds. He went to university to learn law. He won 7 awards. 1 as the most valuable player, in 1970 and won as a rookie in 1972. The NHL has shared 5 Vezina trophies. He helped Montreal win 6 Stanley Cups. He was on 5 All-Star teams. In his last year in the NHL, he had 46 shutouts and a 2.24 average. He retired in 1979 at age 31. He earned $2 million in 1 year. He took his wife and 2 children to England and wrote a book about hockey. In 1982, he moved to Toronto and lives there now. He was on a special program for 6 weeks. I like hockey, and I like to watch hockey games on TV. I think that hockey is valuable to Canada. Thank you all for attending.
Like hockey. My next speaker is Dean Russo, and guess what his topic will be?
Good morning, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed, judges, parents, friends, and teachers, and guests. My name is Dean Russo, and this is my nameson. Today, my topic is hockey. I want to talk about hockey because it is my favorite sport. I was happy because Boston beat Toronto 8-2 on March 16th. Then the next game on Saturday, it was the North Stars versus Boston. The North Stars beat Boston 10-0. Then it was halftime. Boston's men did warm-up exercises, but the Boston goalie did not have to warm up because he is a good goalie. That's why. Then the referee dropped the puck. The North Star's prop's teeth were bleeding. Then he went to the hospital and he got 6 stitches. Sorry, I'm ahead of team. His teeth were bleeding and then he went to the hospital and got 6 stitches. The playoffs will start this April and finish at the end of May. St. Louis, Calgary, Boston, and the New York Rangers are in first place. I hope Calgary will win the Stanley Cup. Because Calgary is a Canadian team. Calgary's McGuinness. May win the most valuable player this year. be able to play sometime in the NHL too. I played for a PM team near Ottawa. Thank you very much.
Is Margaret Sutherland. Margaret.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed, parents, students, friends, and teachers. My name is Margaret Sutherland. This is my name sign. My topic today is Girl Guides. Girl Guides are found in many countries. It is for girls between the ages of 6 and 18. The Girl Guides began in England soon after Lord Baden-Powell started the Boy Scouts there. Girl Guides are divided into 6 groups: Brownies, Guides, Pathfinders, the 4th is Rangers, 5th are Junior Leaders, and the 6th group, Cadets. On Monday nights, Mrs. Johnson and Helen are our leaders for the Sir James Whitney Girl Guides. I've been a Girl Guide for 1 year. Last year I was a Brownie. Our patrol's name is the Robins, and Natalie, Katie, and Lorraine are in it with me. When the meeting starts, we go to our patrol corner, and our leader collects our money. At the opening, we make a horseshoe and say our promise. Our Girl Guide symbol is made like this, with 3 fingers. We use it when we shake hands and when we say our promise. Our promise is, I promise, on my honor, to do my best, do my duty to God, the Queen, and my country, and to obey the Guide law. The Girl Guides have many games. My favorite is called Ladders. After a game, we go into our work groups. At the end of the meeting, we sing taps and fingerspell goodnight. The Girl Guide program helps girls learn about themselves and about the world. Girl Guides may work for different badges: stars, cooking, sports, writing stories, and music. I have 3 badges for singing, drama, and law. The Girl Guide wears a uniform with a blue blouse, skirt, blue belt, blue knee socks, and brown or black shoes. I enjoy Girl Guides. My favorite time was camping at Wahoos. I will join Guides again next year. Thank you very much.
Our last speaker in the primary division is Watson George. John.
Good morning, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed, parents, students, friends, and teachers and judges and guests. My name is Johnny Watson George, and this is my name sign. My topic today is Archie. I wrote a story about all the characters in Archie. Reggie wanted to see Midge. Moose saw Reggie and Moose hid him because Reggie loves Midge. Reggie went to the hospital. Betty, Archie, Jughead, and Veronica went to the beach, and Archie saw a beautiful girl. Archie wanted her to be his girlfriend, but the girl wouldn't be his girlfriend because Archie is ugly. Archie said, "Please love me." The girl said, "No." The girl's boyfriend came. He was strong. He hit Archie and Archie ran away. Archie, Betty, Jughead, and Veronica went swimming. Then they went home. That night, Archie wanted to go to the drive-in with Veronica. Veronica said, "No, I won't go with you. I want to go with Reggie." But Reggie was in the hospital. Archie said, "Okay, I'll go with Betty instead." Jughead won't go to the drive-in with a girl. Because he loves hamburgers better than girls. I hope you enjoyed my story. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you. I was very impressed that those students, most of them, had memorized their speeches. Were you impressed also? Yeah, that's hard work, isn't it? You did a good job, all of you. And the judges now are really suffering, right? Now I know that the older students perhaps have more money, so maybe they could pay the judges to vote for them. Good idea. No. The last group of speakers will be our grade 7 and 8 for intermediate. 7 and 8. 8, not 7. Thank you. Not 7, 8. And the first speaker will be Jennifer Ivan. Jennifer.
faculty, parents, staff, and fellow students. Good morning, my name is Jennifer Ivan. I want to talk to you about my college at my friend's college last summer. My father goes to Louis and Lista College. They're friends of my parents. They have 3 boys, Shaw, Lloyd, and Ryder. Their college near North Bay. I stay for 1 week in summer. I study many frogs and one thing. I saw rats swimming in the lake. And I saw some fish come out the water. It was much a wonderful day. I did be red boat. I tried water like I already fallen in the water. I didn't know how because I never tried that before. Charles and we are very good skiers. My friend caught big fish called Rusty Mike. I always thought Dave and friends right their face. And Mom moved together. I really like to talk to Lloyd about college. I went to swimming. I saw 3 baby catfish. I caught them. I rode a small motorcycle. And my brother taught me how to ride a motorcycle. I fall down. I didn't hurt myself because I fall on the grass. Later, I went to Shaw's house. My father had a bad knee. My father told me that my uncle's sister fallen in the water from a boat. She got killed. I feel sorry about that. I went to Shaw's farm. I got many chickens there. I sit in the farm and play with my friends. It was so hot, so I'm walking back to the college. It was a long way to walk, about 10 minutes. I fall in the fan about 9 o'clock. I think I must go home. We have a good time. I really want to stay there long. Thank you.
Stacy Hunter. Stacy.
Judges, teachers, and fellow students. The topic I have chosen to speak about today is Ireland. The reason I have picked this topic is because my grandparents, my mother and her brothers and sisters were all born in Ireland. This means that I'm also part Irish. I was born in Canada, but I would love to go to Ireland to see the way the Irish people live and where my mom and her family lived. My mother was born in Raystown, Country Low. This is a large farm area, and a lot of my relatives own their own farms. My grandfather owned a pub in Ireland, and my grandmother helped him, and also raised 7 children and moved to Canada in 1960. My grandfather came in 1959 ahead of the family to find work and a home for his family to come to. My grandfather loves Canada and was happy to move here, although his heart will always be with his family in Ireland. The capital and largest city in Ireland is Dublin, with a population of about 525,882. Cork is the second largest city and is a major port with a population of 136,344. Limerick and Waterford are also important trading centers for Ireland. In Ireland, 94% of the people are Roman Catholic. Less than 4% are Protestants. The official languages in Ireland are English and Irish. Only 1/4 of the people speak Irish. It is a Gaelic language and is the traditional tongue of Ireland. My mother and sister and her brothers still know a little bit of Gaelic that they learned from going to school in Ireland. There are popular sports in Ireland. One is hurling. This is a lot like field hockey and Gaelic football, which is like soccer. Horse racing is a popular sport. There are only 4 states in Ireland, and the Prime Minister is Charles Hohe. Northern Ireland is owned by England, and their Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher. St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, is the most important national holiday in Ireland. They have a big parade to celebrate this day, and they all wear green. My family celebrates St. Patrick's Day, and they have a big party with all my relatives to celebrate. And all of my relatives here in Canada will come. We all have to be sure to be wearing green on that day to show everyone we are proud to be Irish. Thank you. Natalie Blanc. Which do you prefer to have? One is off? Okay. Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed, judges, parents, staff, and students, good morning. My topic I want to talk about is dancing because I love to dance. When I was 4 years old, I started jazz dancing. My mom was a teacher of jazz, tap, and ballet. She taught me how to dance, and I still dance because I love to dance. It is so much fun. My 2 twin sisters, Chantel and Sylvie, dance also. We dance in many shows every year. This year I danced in Belleville at the Quinty Dance Center. My teacher's name is Melissa. I have danced for 10 years, and my favorite kind of dance is jazz. Last year I did some ballet and a dance show. Last year I went dancing every Thursday, but this year I go dancing every Wednesday. My favorite kind of music to dance to is dirty dancing. There are warm-up exercises to do before you dance. Many people like to watch dance shows. I'm so nervous when I'm in a show. I don't know why. I have special dance shoes for jazz, for ballet shoes, and tap shoes. I also have some costumes for the shows. See you later. Thank you.
Will be Eva Cardinelli.
Good morning, teachers, students, and friends, parents. I'm here to talk about koalas. Koala bears live in the western part of Australia. Koalas found food on their own. Koalas like to eat leaves, buds, and some stems. A koala's favorite food is the leaves of the eucalyptus tree. If a koala is in danger, it will climb up to the top of the tall trees. Baby koalas can be stolen by birds or snakes. Koalas have been killed for their soft fur. And some koalas are starved to death, since many trees have been chopped down. Now koalas are safe in some parks, where there are some trees left. There are 3 different kinds of koalas. There are the Victoria koala, New South Wales koala, and the last one is the Queensland koala. The colors of their furs are different. The koala's fur is light tan and gray. The New South Wales koala's fur is dark gray and white. And the Queensland fur is light gray and white. All the different kinds of koalas grow to different sizes. Different koalas are different sizes, and they will live in different places. The male koala is larger than the female koala. The male koala is heavier. It weighs about 17.5 pounds. And the female koala will weigh only about 12 pounds. They will grow to full size when they are about 4 years old. Koalas are not soft like teddy bears. In fact, they are not bears at all. Some koalas are born in zoos and some in the wild. People like to cuddle the fuzzy little creatures. Because they're cute and cuddly. Thank you for listening.
Lily, Lynn.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed, staff, students, and friends. My name is Lily. My last name is Lynn. My topic is about Taiwan. 5 years ago, I visited my relatives in Taiwan in the summertime. First we went to Vancouver, BC. Next to Tokyo, Japan. And we arrived in Taiwan by airplane. Taiwan is a mountainous island in the South China Sea, about 90 miles off the Chinese coast. The weather was warm, similar to spring or summertime, but sometimes it rained. There are 22 million in population. Some lizards and insects will live in the country areas. Taiwan's flag has a red field and a white sun appears on a blue cartoon in the upper left-hand corner. I went to my relative's house in the city where I saw a river. It had 3 areas of water controlled by the river. There were some white ducks swimming in a small, clear lake. My uncle and I rode on his Honda motorcycle to fish in the well and river, close to many forests and near his small house. I fished and caught 12 fish. Then I threw some fish to feed my uncle's twin blonde puppies. They ate some fish because they were so hungry and liked to eat them. My cousin and I went to the fruit garden. I saw many different kinds of fruits than grow in Canada. I was allowed to free pick some fruits. I saw some Taiwanese farmers who worked on a farm field near many hills for growing rice after harvesting it. They wore cone-shaped straw hats. The children went to school. They had almost 50 students in a class in Taiwan. Taiwanese people speak Chinese and some Japanese languages, and 2 different dialects of Taiwanese. There were 30 daily newspapers published in Taiwan. I visited my other relatives in Taipei, a big crowded capital city with lots of people and stores in North Taiwan. I rode a high-speed train. I went to McDonald's, bought some French fries. They tasted different and were a different kind of potatoes. They cost more than in Canada. Later in the morning, I rode an airplane to go back home in Ottawa, Ontario. I enjoyed everything in Taiwan. Thank you for listening to me.
You are a terrific audience that's sitting so quietly and watching and paying attention. Good for you. Our last speaker will be Paul Watson. Paul.
Good morning, Mr. Robbins, Mr. Reed, parents, students, and friends. My name is Paul Watson. And I want to tell you about my brother Brian. Brian went on an airplane. And he went far away. Brian went to Scotland. Brian didn't come home at Christmas time. He stayed in Scotland to look for a dinosaur in a lake called Loch Ness. He didn't find the dinosaur, but he did fall in the water. I miss Brian. He's home now, and I'm happy. Brian had a wonderful time in Scotland. Thank you.